After just miring through early Wes Anderson films and rewatching this classic, I've come to the conclusion that this movie is cussing delightful.
Cedar stick off the cross rock.
Fantastic, Mr. Fox.
Twig runners dash back and forth until the pine cone burns out, then you count up however many score downs it adds up to and divide that by 9.
Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam and welcome back to the road to Asteroid City, where I'll be covering every Wes Anderson film in honor of Asteroid City, coming very soon. I've already covered everything from Bottle Rocket up to the Darjeeling Limited. See how forgetful that movie is? I literally forgot it as I was mentioning it. But the playlist link will be in an eye in the right-hand corner if you would like to check those videos out. But for right now, I'm so happy to report that it is now time to talk about Fantastic Mr. Fox. This was released in 2008, and it was based on the book of the same name written by Roald Dahl. It tells the story of, well, Mr. Fox, voiced by George Clooney. After years of, well, being a wild animal, in his own words, he settles down with his wife and their son, Ash. However, he is perpetually bored and longing for his old life again. And so after moving his family from a hole in the ground to a very large tree, he, along with their landlord Kylie, voiced by Bill Murray, begin to rob the farms of Bogus, Bunsen, Bean, respectively, three of the nastiest and ugliest farmers in the land. This movie has a very special place in my heart. It was the first Wes Anderson movie I ever watched, and if for nothing else, it was because I actually read the book before I learned that there was the movie of this. And so, even though it wasn't like Pixar related, I immediately wanted to see it. And it just was a magical experience going to see that movie for the first time. And rewatching it for this project, it was like I stumbled upon an oasis in the middle of the desert, because this movie remains my favorite Wes Anderson film. And I had to double check with myself to see if I was just loving it because of rose-tinted glasses or nostalgia, but having suffered through
things that make you go
icky stuff with Wes Anderson's early films, I am happy to report that Fantastic Mr. Fox is everything that I remembered it being. It is all of that, and then some, and more. Because this is a Wes Anderson joint, the people that you know are in this: Jason Schwartzman, Owen Wilson, and Bill Murray. However, there are new additions, including George Clooney, who, to my knowledge, has never appeared in a Wes Anderson joint after this, and Meryl Streep, same thing. And needless to say, the cast in this is stacked and jacked. It is a great cast. What I love the most about this movie in particular is that Wes Anderson did such a good job of giving each animal their own distinct personalities. There is literally an entire scene in the movie where Fox goes around and names each animal their Latin name and what they're good at. It's very literal, but I did appreciate that. I love how every character just has their own unique traits as to how they make the mission at the end successful. I love that. I love the spirit of that. I would argue that this is the best looking movie in Wes Anderson's entire catalog. Now, this is an animated movie. This is stop motion, and I will talk about that in a minute. So you can control more things with animation. But with that being said, though, it still very much is a Wes Anderson movie with the symmetrical shots, the big bright colors, trains, a lot of trains. But every shot in this movie looks absolutely gorgeous, and it goes double for the fact that the animation is stop motion. The scene in which Fantastic Mr. Fox and his wife are talking in front of that waterfall, I don't know how that was made, but it is so beautiful to know that human hands crafted that. It's so amazing. It really is. Cinema rocks. And like I said, with Wes Anderson's hallmarks being symmetry, colors, and trains, there is Wes Anderson's standard style of humor and the content of his characters. However, for some reason, I feel like I tolerate them more in this movie than in his early work, and I think it comes down to one particular factor. Mr. Fox himself, he's voiced by George Clooney. George Clooney's a great actor. However, I feel like this particular character is one of the best characters that Wes Anderson has ever created. Even though Roald Dahl got there first, I think Wes Anderson did a masterful job of adapting Mr. Fox because as Jacob Collins and I talked about in the Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou review. I know the English language. Most, if not all, of Wes Anderson's main characters are pretty much a-holes. Like, they are not to be admired, but they get by because of their assumed charisma, and even that doesn't really work. Mr. Fox is a very charismatic individual. He is fast-talking, and he enjoys being a wild animal.
Why? Why did you lie to me?
Because I'm a wild animal.
In that particular moment, you understand why Mr. Fox does the thing that he does. It's in his very nature. He can't control it. He can try to suppress it, but at the end of the day, it just has to come out. And when he lays bare his reasoning for this, Mrs. Fox is right there to say, you are also these many things, so you need to keep that in mind and keep yourself in check. It was honestly like I had burst out of the pipe at the end of the Shawshank Redemption and I was just bathing in the rain after suffering through Wes Anderson's movies where these characters are just terrible people, but we're banking on them being whimsical in order to just use it as a cure-all. It took like 6 or 7 movies deep to finally get a Wes Anderson main character that I genuinely love. And Mr. Fox is that character. It is all of Wes Anderson's most positive attributes with almost next to none of his negative attributes. That's why this movie is my favorite of his. And honestly, I feel like this is like I said, this is my favorite of Wes Anderson's catalog because no matter what you're looking for in a movie, it's probably in here. It's kind of like Jojo Rabbit. If you're looking for something dark, it's got elements of that. If you're looking for something lighthearted, it's got elements of that as well. Whether it goes light or dark, the movie works. And just, it's almost a miracle that all the right actors, all the great animators, and just came together into one package to create Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's one of my favorite animated movies of all time. It gets an easy, amazing grade. It's one of, if not Wes Anderson's finest work. The movie also contains, in that very scene I mentioned with the waterfall, probably one of my favorite movie monologues of all time. And I know what I say when I say that. I'm going to play select clips from it because, you know, copyright and all. I don't want to get flagged or anything, but I will try my best and play the best bits. Here it is.
Badger's right. These farmers aren't going to quit until they catch me. I shouldn't have lied to your face. I shouldn't have fallen off the wagon and started secretly stealing chickens on the sly. I think I have this thing where I need everybody to think I'm the greatest, the quote-unquote fantastic Mr. Fox. And if they aren't completely knocked out and dazzled and kind of intimidated by me, then I don't feel good about myself.
Honestly, I could do an entire highlight reel of just this movie, and it would be this movie, because it's all highlights. If for some reason you have never seen this movie, do yourself a favor, see it. Last I checked, it is on HBO Max, or Max as it is called now. And I don't know, because with the whole thing with Disney purging their stuff, I don't know if it's still on streaming, but wherever you can find it, watch it. But if you have seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And next up in Wes Anderson's filmography, it's on to another one of my favorites of his, and honestly, probably the best live-action movie that Wes Anderson has ever done. It is 2012's Moonrise Kingdom. But if you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to allow notifications, so when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam. I cussing love all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.